is going to start out about COVID-19. And I was, when I sent out my first note saying that we were going to have this meeting and it was going to be alive and we were not going to be, enforcers. We leave it to you to make up your minds as to how you guys want to live your lives, and we're not going to deny you entry into a free meeting. So I basically covered that, and then I got a little bit of flack. So needless to say, here's my response to why I'm not tackling any of you, putting duct tape on your mouths, saying, no, you can't come into this public forum. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I trust my fellow Americans to do what they feel is right for them. I do see a few masks here. Thank you very much. I also don't see masks. You don't see one here either. That is your right. In my opinion, that is your absolute right. I love that one way back in the back there. COVID is here to stay, and we're going to be dealing with it for a very long time. And there are going to be people who say masks, masks, masks. And in some instances, yes. If you know that you're compromised, stay home. If you do go out, wear a mask. But don't be a mask bully. Some people cannot wear masks, and they are not required by law to tell you whether or not they can or can't wear a mask. Me personally, I ordered face shields, and I think that's going to be my route. You can see my beautiful facial expressions if I'm wearing a face shield. You can't see that with a mask. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No amount of vaccine or cure is going to completely knock this thing out. Even smallpox pops up from time to time. You may not know it. In fact, you probably will never know it. But it's here. We're going to have to deal with it. And it's how afraid do you want to be? Did I run out of color? Oh, he made. Oh, okay. Sorry. No, that's all right. So we are going to be having in-person meetings, and that's just all there is to it. We have signs to distribute. We have petitions for people to fill out. We have things to plan, and it's just better done in person, in my opinion. If you are feeling sick, my little phone is on, and we have, let's see, Linda and Karen?
Yeah, we weren't able to hear you. She might have signed off.
Oh!
The phone was too far away from where you were speaking.
Okay, but you can hear me now, right?
I can very clearly, yes.
Okay. So noted. So this must be put essentially, but this is, you can hear me on the phone. So Linda's calling in from home. Karen Karbowski was here for a brief moment. And that is an option, if you would like, that I will have at every meeting so that you can call and at least listen in. At some point in time, as we progress and get down to public comment, we'll probably open up and see if anybody else has joined in and have questions allow people to do questions. This is where we get into the next part of my opener is civil disobedience. When in the military, I know that if you're given an order that is contrary to, let's see, morally objectionable, there is a standard by which they can report the issue or refuse an order. At this point, I think we're at the civil disobedience portion of our edicts from Whitmer on high. I think she's definitely got a power grab going on, and she's basically pitting us against one another, and I absolutely hate that. As I was thinking about my opener, there are three things that came to mind about what we're seeing in our country today. I spent the first half of my life being a very, very decent pessimist. Everything was just always against me and seemed to go wrong, and everything was just horrible, and my life was miserable. I think in my youth, things could have gone a lot better if I had a little bit of optimism. And so although at this point we do have a disease that's not going to go away, we have people demanding masks, we have an out-of-control government, we have corruption and lawlessness, we have voter fraud, we have BLM riots and looters and all sorts of horrible things going on. I would like to think that our best chances at defeating that corruption and lawlessness and those problems that pervade our country best lie with the Republican Party. I think our best chances at keeping our God-given freedoms lies in the election of Republicans. I would also like to think that Article 5 Convention of States is our best chance at beating the Washington, D.C. machine, short of a civil war. I would also like to think that there are more good politicians in office than bad politicians, and I would give anybody the benefit of the doubt. Pelosi, she's already given me all the doubt I need. You know, there are certain, gimme. But for the most part, I would like to say that there are more good people than bad. So short of civil war, that brings us to my passion for the Republican Party. I really think that we have a better chance at keeping what God has given us, what this world has given us in the United States of America by having Republicans elected, by getting them elected, by keeping them in office, by encouraging Republicans to run. And that's one of the reasons why I am here. If you live in Mankato Township, vote for Carrie Mullins. I'm running for Mankato Township trustee. And I apparently do have a contended now.
Good.
Doug Travis threw his name in at the last moment, just before the write-in option expired at the end of the day today. So needless to say, that is my opener in a nutshell.